So welcome to part 3 of the Demon Souls Relay LP. Gavin starting it off with the classic message there.
You aren't as fun as me starting intros, so I'll say you're not as professional.
No, but at the same time I'm less
demons?
sweary, so I mean, probably balances out.
Please free Sage Frake the Visionary.
Before we go on the
dungeon
level, we're
collection.
gonna have a little trip around the
I
Nexus
will
and
help you
talk to some
however
of the
I
people.
can. I can teach you elementary
This guy
spells.
doesn't actually have a name as far as I know, he's just
Frake
Sage
is a
Frake's
gleaming hope for
assistant.
humankind,
Yeah.
but I have not the power to save him alone.
He also doesn't speak, well, apparently soon, he doesn't speak particularly enthusiastically, despite pleading us to save the life of his beloved master.
Well, I mean, he kind of hates us, so...
I suppose. Anyway, we're getting the Enchant Weapon and Soul Arrow. Soul Arrow we will not be using this video, I don't think. But Enchant Weapon we will. This is integral to...
Oh, is that what
This
you were
video.
using?
Be
I
careful
see. I
how
wasn't
you
aware.
use
I
it.
didn't know what it was when I saw you
Normally,
using
it
it.
would not be granted
Yeah,
to one
it's
such as
Enchant
yourself.
Weapon. This is actually the
I had
first
to
time
make
in
an
any run I've
exception
used it,
for the sake
but it
of
is
Sage Frake.
it is like paying off dividends.
Very good.
I'm just switching these around because Enchant Weapon enchants the weapon in your right hand, so we need the
Oh, I see.
catalyst in our left
I
hand.
was wondering what that change was for. That seems like a very bad way to have those set up.
It is, because normally I prefer having the bow in the left hand, but
I'm amazed that message wasn't more dirty.
I know, I was expecting something with sticky white stuff.
Yeah. Anyone watching will be able to find out why later on in the LP.
Mm-hmm.
Plug.
Anyway, this is, yeah, he's Baldwin, so Ed is the
Baldwin.
other guy. This is me debating about upgrades, it's also showing off the blacksmith. You just go in, if you have enough, he's an asshole if you don't buy his shit. But if,
I like that though. I like that. That's
yeah,
the thing.
Back in the time that I lived below Bolitari
I don't think she has a name either, she's just an acolyte.
Yeah.
Some strange business.
She doesn't offer anything, just says things to you about...
If you've 30 faith, she'll give you a
20.
pure faith stone. 20?
Yeah,
I thought I was sure it was 30.
Nah,
20 seems too low.
I know,
If
but
I
if
didn't
you get it, you get a
find
pure,
miracles
yeah,
from
faint
Shaw,
stone, which...
a keepsake of my grandfather.
The faint stone path is
I
like
may not have survived.
divine items, isn't it?
Yeah, divine.
Divine, and that makes weapons scale off the faith stat.
Oh, you must be another disciple of God.
This is just kind of
I
like
too
the holy
am on a
quarter.
quest to fight
Yeah, this is the holy. This is
demons
basically
in
the
the
holy
name
corner,
of
and then the
May
horrible
I
satanic
share
wizard
God's
corner.
power with you? Do not be bashful.
Well, I mean, I know which one I
We are
prefer.
both cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, the disciple of God. He is the first miracle seller. He only sells these 4. He's not very good.
I see.
He sells evacuate though, which is
Wish to trade
basically all you
yourself
need
in
unless you're
stoicism.
specifically dealing in miracles.
Very
Yeah,
well.
pretty pricey though.
I pray we meet
Spells
again.
and magic are almost entirely offensive based or inflict status effects. They're all offending spells. Miracles are usually defensive spells. In Demon Souls, there is no offensive. Well, there's offensive ones, but there's no damaging miracles.
This is the
The
level
line-
up screen, which we haven't
It's
shown
level
yet.
screen. Yeah. You just go to the maiden and touch the demon inside her, as she puts it, and just you pour souls in there, and she gives you power back
Yeah.
somehow.
It is different to the Dark Souls games where you
Art
you
thou done?
put your stats up to what you
May
want and you
thy
see how that changes your
strength
character
help the
and then
world be
confirm it.
mended.
Here you confirm it as you put each individual level up.
Yeah, you have to be committed to it, which isn't as efficient or useful as Dark Souls, I will admit. That was a nice refinement.
Yeah,
Before we
it's
go
nice
to
see
the
what
world
happens.
itself, we're gonna go with the Dragon Nest.
Yeah, Dragon Nest, where I got the
That,
shield that was used in the
yeah.
last video.
We're gonna go get that now because it is fucking integral to World 2.
Yeah,
Because
it's
everything in World 2 is made of fire and pain.
very useful. We're not going to watch you getting there though, that would just be a bit
Take a
pointless.
Yeah. So, in pure white ten, not well, it's not, I don't think it's pure white. In just white tendency in general, the blue dragon fucks off,
Yeah.
and we kill the red dragon. I've eaten his soul and fed it to myself for power.
In my game I didn't bother getting up to the white tendency before this. I just killed the red dragon and came here and had to
Dodge tail.
roll about dodging the tail slam.
It must be like pure white that he leaves then, if because you would have had white tendency from killing
Yeah,
flanks.
I'm pretty sure it is pure white. Well, it's not pure white, but it's essentially there. It's like you need 4 or 5
Okay.
on the scale.
So this thing is really fucking heavy. Like this pushes me over my limit. When you're over your equip burden, you can only walk, and I can't do shit with this sheep. Mind you, I can still just wave it about like that, despite it being super heavy apparently, so...
The emotions behind gestures overpower any weight.
Fortunately, there's Ring of Flame Resistance is also very useful, but just over here is the Ring of Great Strength, which is the Equip Burden counterpart to the Ring of Herculean Strength that I'm already using. This one boosts Equip Burden by a considerable amount, as the other one boosts Item Burden by a considerable amount. So with that on, I now have more than enough to carry the shield and use it. Still the heavy roll though.
Oh, you'd need a lot,
You'd, like,
a
below
lot higher
it's-
endurance to be able to light roll with that.
It's like below 50% Equip Burden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Then just a bit of cleanup, show what else is up here, just soul, and then there's like some grass and the shards of archstone we saw you get like on way in video 1.
Yeah. You still get them here though. I thought I would show your entire adventure in the dragon nest.
Fair enough.
Plus I like seeing the castle in the background that we're going to.
Yeah,
I like that
is-
as I said that you just panned away from it, but
I do it despite you.
yeah. But you know, I like that, especially in it happens really more prominently in World 1 than it does in any of the others.
Yeah,
That you can
although
see the upcoming parts of the world.
seeing where you're going and where you've been is
Yeah.
a big thing in these games
It's nice.
in general, which is really lovely world design. Right, these guys in 2-2, these guys take a serious jump up in damage. The damage they give out.
Yeah, and this is immediately after the armor spider fight from last video.
Yes.
Just to say.
So, enchant weapon adds magic damage to weapons. The magic damage it adds is based on your both.
Whoa!
I think it's just your what?
That is good.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like straight up. It's based on your magic damage stat, your magic stat, which I don't have very much of right now. I won't have very much of it for a while, but even then, it doesn't really matter.
Still very good.
If you notice, my R1 is now doing like R2 regular R2 damage.
Yeah. No, that's
But
good. I can see why I see why you wanted it.
It is an absolute boon because magic cuts straight through both armored and scaled enemies. So this is just a godsend in
Yeah.
general.
There was
also
that mine
yeah.
cart that exploded at the start there, by the way, had a little fire mine on the top of it, and we'll see the reason why in a later video.
Anyway, these guys are absolute dicks. I don't know what it is with this tunnel, but I just can't fucking do it sometimes.
I mean,
There's
it's,
so many of them.
yeah, it's bad the way they gang up.
And I'll spoil this now. Off camera, I died with these gits several times. They just overwhelmed me and got unlucky.
Really now?
Yeah.
How many times did you say?
2?
So that's 2 deaths in this run then.
Off screen. You suck my dick.
It was still in one of the parts that you had to record, so it counts.
You've
You were
died
hiding
off
that
screen
from me
as
pretty
well.
I've died off screen, but I've died off screen in the parts we were recording. I just didn't include the recordings. Because I don't want to make them sit and watch a death montage, essentially.
The same deal
But,
here.
like, I'm counting those deaths.
Alright.
I mean, none of them have happened yet, but... well, none of them have happened in the order you're watching these videos, but they will happen.
So what you're saying is I'm stuck with Blightown.
Well, what I'm saying... Actually, yes, no, I like this. Whoever has the most deaths by the end of this LP is the one who has to do Blighttown and Dark Souls. Agreed?
Agreed.
Done. And I think you're one ahead of me. Including these 2 hidden deaths I didn't know about.
I told you about these.
Well, I didn't forget about them. I mean, I did forget about them.
You did forget. You're just breaking down on me.
I've had very little sleep today.
Alright.
I fucked up this item in my run.
Did you die?
Oh no, I didn't die, I just didn't get it and I wasn't
Okay.
asked to go back for it. I always mess it up
It's
though.
not much. This was extremely fortunate.
I really thought you were dead when I was watching this. I really thought you had died there.
I know, I was
I was gonna
immediately
queue
began-
up like the cartoon sound effect and everything.
I was immediately like gritting my teeth and just sucking air through my teeth when that happened.
It's probably one of the closest calls I think I've seen in this area.
See, I've turned the brightness down from my normal level of full brightness, so I can't see fucking anything anymore.
You're
and I
not,
have
you're
no
not
idea
used
where
to it
anything-
at this level.
I'm not used to it at this level. I can't see anything anymore. So you'll see me like stop a lot because I'm going like, is there a platform there? Can
This
I reach
part.
that?
That part right there, that drop, I die
Yeah.
there an awful lot.
Do you?
Because if you roll, you don't break those. You bounce off them and fall to your
Oh.
death. And I always instinctively try and roll and then bounce off them to my
Oh,
death. It's
Soft
very
roll,
annoying.
We get you through them.
Yeah.
These worm enemies, they're a good example of enemies have different hitboxes on their bodies that do different damage. These
Yeah.
guys have really thick skin that resist basically all damage,
It's rock, essentially. They're rock worms,
Yeah.
more or less.
but their mouths are extremely vulnerable. So if you can shoot them in the mouth, with a bow for example, give me a moment, you do a ton of damage.
Magic also does very well against them.
Magic, as we will see not next video, the side video or whatever it will be, does stupid amounts of damage to these guys actually.
Yeah, I will just say that now. We're coming up on the boss for 2-2. 2-2 is a bit weird as there's a quite
Whole side
direct
area.
path to the boss and then a very kind of long and twisting side path.
Yeah, like a very winding. There's a side path like tons of winding tunnels and
Yeah.
extra goodies and
Lots
shit.
of little treasures and stuff, but it's by no means necessary.
No
So
means
that,
necessary at
that
all.
will be shown, but it'll be shown in an
Well-
extra video, not in a main part.
Only about half of it will be shown out a bit because I don't know why, but it just wasn't agreeing with me in general. It was like it just went completely shit. This is the first time we've seen this.
Oh, you found a summon sign.
Um,
Huh.
I don't
So,
understand the
He's-
fucking
so-
rating system.
So he's
in.
well, essentially, when you summon someone after they leave, you're asked to like give them a grade. So 2/3 of people thought he was the best, and 1/3 people thought he was absolute shit,
I don't know. It's
which
quite
is
the
a bit
interesting.
weird.
Yeah. Quite the interesting divide.
To be honest, I'm surprised we saw him. I kind of thought this game would be dead online.
No, if you'll notice, I've been online in all my videos. There's actually been a lot of people like pissing about in the Nexus.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
I'm surprised the server's still up, frankly.
Time for the fun.
Oh, I fucking hate this boss.
Yeah, this boss causes a lot of trouble for a
This
lot of
man
people.
is fucking infamous.
Hell of a cool intro though.
Oh, yeah. Although, I think about it and just kind of like wonder, where the fuck is he?
What do you mean?
Because like, you know what's beyond that? It's just like, we'll see it later
Yeah,
in this
well,
video.
I'm sure he's just chilling out.
just thinking, like, is he really just sitting behind that this
He's
entire
just
time?
like he's playing poker with the next boss. They're gonna do something to pass the eons.
Suppose.
So this is
So,
Flame
Flame
Lurker.
Lurker. Fuck, Flame Lurker,
Yeah,
holy
Flame
shit.
Lurker is bad. Flame Lurker is very aggressive, very fast, and
This
fire
is,
damage all around.
This boss is the wall. It's like, for so many people, this is the wall at which everyone breaks.
So you're doing quite good damage. He's quite weak to magic,
Yeah,
which is quite good.
This is the thing that needs to be said. He is like, he's a scaled enemy. Like normal sword hits, as we will see the few times when my sword runs out of magic power, they do fuck all damage to him. Like, he just tanks it. This does mean you can hit him with arrows, and I think there's in this fight. Did I record showing him getting stuck?
I think you did.
We'll explain that when we get to it. But he's a scaled enemy, so magic does a ton of damage, and it's basically the only way this was doable for me. I will admit this is the first time ever I fought this guy legitimately. In a sense. Like, I've never been able, this is the first time I've ever been able to fight him like
I have
this.
fought him once legitimately, and it was on my first run through, and I've never done it since because it was so annoying.
No, like, I could never. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he
This-
gets stuck in that corner quite a bit.
See, this guy gets stuck on the obstacles in his own arena a lot. His pathfinding is also really bad, so he'll just stay there until you move, or until he finally corrects himself. So you can, like, the way to cheese this boss is you get him stuck on those, and you just keep pelting him with spells or arrows, which will cut him down very easily. He'll eventually get through, but it's really trivial to lead him back around.
Well, I know, like, I'll say this now because it's slightly different to the way that I would kind of cheese him. If you
Yes.
go into that little skull when he gets stuck there, he never
Yeah.
gets unstuck.
Does he not?
No. He'll do like strafing jumps, which will throw off your shots for a couple of seconds, but he'll never manage to properly get out. Anytime he jumps out of it, he'll immediately jump back into it.
I decided to be sporting here and like let
Yeah.
him lure him back
It
up.
wouldn't have been very entertaining.
No. This will be my undoing, but yeah, fuck this guy. He moves very fast. He moves erratically. He hits extremely hard. He has explosive fire damage attacks that do a ton of damage and hit through. Even the purple flame shield, you'll notice.
The only
doesn't
way
block.
I could see him being meaner is if he
Yeah.
if he took an attribute from the Smelter Demon in Dark Souls 2,
Oh Christ!
and you
don't
took
do
damage
it.
just from being near him.
That would.
If that
would be
happened, I'm
stupid.
legitimately not sure how you could beat him.
No, the only way you could beat him at that point would be the fucking get him stuck and just pelt him with arrows.
Yeah, like it would be so tricky.
As you notice, you can use this to heal quite efficiently.
Yeah.
I do because, oh Jesus Christ. Also, it doesn't do as much damage here as it does in other games, but standing in that lava does hurt you.
Yeah. It doesn't
Very
even, it
little.
doesn't even do as much damage as it does in other parts of this game. Standing in lava in some other parts of this game will really trip
Yeah,
you
that's true
alive.
actually, yes.
But I think again, it's probably one of those things. They probably play tested it, and like
That was
I
too
imagine
big,
way
yeah.
too many people died because they weren't focusing on the lava while fighting him. And how could you?
Yeah, he's relentless. Like, if you notice, flanks well, had like a lot of points where it just wasn't attacking you, like its guys weren't seeing you or anything. Tower Knight, he was very slow and unwieldy. Armor Spider had like very clear patterns,
Yeah.
and I had like
And attacks that
moments
left
for you to hit
massive
him.
openings.
Yeah, this guy doesn't stop.
No, this
he
guy
keeps
is
going.
ridiculous.
Like he doesn't really, he never really lets up on you. He always charges you down. He always dodges your away. He's always fucking with your spacing.
His backward jump is very annoying because it's so good at putting space between the two of you.
Yeah, and he also is like, I'm willing to bet has better AI than most bosses. He's a lot better with his
Oh, yeah.
dodges. At this point, I got stuck on his legs trying to roll between them. And,
Is that what you're trying to do? I was wondering actually.
yeah. Oh, you cheeky fuck.
Yeah, I thought I would just keep track of this, but I didn't know you died twice.
I told you though.
But I didn't remember, so I'll have to add 2 to that the next time you die.
Well,
If it makes you feel any better, there's one for me as well.
I'm glad. Do you put it on the other side of the screen?
I do.
Good. Now you need to edit the audio so that we're in stereo, so I'm in the right ear and you're on the left.
Alright, I'm willing to put in some editing effort here, but not that much. Not yet, anyway.
But yeah, I'm just showing because I forgot to record me using it. I used the Stone of Ephemerai to get my body back because I desperately need full health for this
Yeah,
fight.
you need the health.
So, you'll notice you can see him sitting out now. You don't have to rewatch the cutscene every time you go in.
Yeah, which is nice.
a lovely design decision. So, let's do this.
I must
will
admit, I think
yeah.
if I was in your situation here, I would probably have, obviously off camera because I don't want to bore people,
Yeah.
grinded up some levels so I could take off one of those rings and put on the Ring of Flame Resistance.
Actually, if you notice, I am using it.
Are you? Alright.
Yeah, if you'll notice on top, I have the blue aura around me. You can see the buff thing in the corner. I am
right
using
now.
it. I've taken off the item burden ring.
Oh, I see.
That was a detail I learned in a funny way when I was trying to slash his butt. I ended up just brushing gently against it. But your shove attack, your push forward and R1 attack, actually, if your weapon has an enchantment, we already said this, I think, will actually
We did, yeah.
do the damage of the enchantment.
It's quite a
Oh,
nice
no.
touch. I mean, it doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
but it's nice.
Doesn't make any sense, but it does mean I just like lightly patted his ass for 71 damage.
That is a heavy pat.
Most dramatic one.
You did quite well. This has been a lot shorter than the other fight you already, but
Yeah.
it's so fast.
I have learned.
Aggression
like-
is key.
Yeah, the amount of times I play these games, like you'll notice we can learn very quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of needed.
Pick it up eventually, yes.
Especially with the newer games. Like I'd say Bloodborne probably kind of has a kind of a steeper learning curve in some
It does,
parts of it
it
than any of
really-
the Souls games.
It really does. It plays so differently, especially for people who played past ones.
Yeah.
It
I
plays
think
so differently.
If
like,
you go
the
into
learning
the
curve is
mindset of a
spiked.
Souls game, it really messes with you.
He shot me between his legs there. I could swear you could roll between them, but
I mean, I'd like to believe you, but from what I'm seeing,
Well, I mean, that's just me being me and fucking up. But yes, enchant weapon is a beloved spell. I never really used the weapon enchantment spells in any of these games, but holy shit,
you might have to
earning
start.
its keep. They have to start, yeah.
I think the only one of the games I've ever used magic in was Dark Souls 1. I used some pyromancy
I heavily use
and
pyromancy.
some miracles, the lightning spear in particular.
I used the lightning spear
That's-
basically all Dark Souls.
That's about it, really. I never really used much else. I never used the soul arrows, really.
I used the soul arrows in. I used the soul arrows in one of them. I forget which a lot because it was basically like 3 shots on distant enemies. So I would just like weaken them down if they were problematic, and then just shank them when they got close.
Fair enough.
I think I used that in Dark Souls. Either Dark Souls 1 or 2. Probably 1, but
I mean, given I doubt you remember much of 2.
what I remember of 2 is a lot of swearing. Fortunately, he backs right the hell up. Like,
Yeah,
enchantment.
that could have been pretty bad there.
You notice I've lost so much of my grass from my off-screen attempts at the tunnel and shit, that I'm using my full moon grass now.
Yeah.
That's how
I think-
bad
I think
2-2 has treated me.
That's why I keep buying Crescent Moon Grass. It's brilliant for healing in between fights.
It is.
You can
it
just
really
eat
is.
like 7 of them if you need to.
I do that in the next video.
I noticed you've got him down to below half now, and you haven't got him stuck once. It's quite impressive.
I know. I'm being serious about taking this sportingly.
Let's just hope it pays off.
Seriously, look at that damage. 309 from 3 hits
That is very good.
on a boss.
I mean, I'll put it to shame in the next video, but it's very good.
In the next video. What do you? 'Cause how do you do more than that on the next boss you fight?
You'll see.
Is it the next boss you fight, or is it?
No, it's the next video. It's not the next boss.
Okay. I know what boss you're fighting, and how do you do that?
Oh, you'll see. It's impressive. If I do say so myself. I must admit. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'm loving some of your dodges here. It really looks like you should be getting hit in some of these.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
one in particular.
I know his hitboxes for attacks are actually extremely weird. The explosions you can actually go through as long as you dodge at the exact right moment. And again, his like forward jump attack, if you roll right at the exact right moment, he'll just miss you.
Very
You
good.
can also roll underneath him. Alright, he's gone Super Saiyan now. At this bit of health, he goes completely on fire. Touching him does damage. Most of his attacks, the explosions are a lot harder. They do a lot more damage.
It's also
does
very
them a
hard to
lot
read
more.
his animations as well.
It is, yeah. He's just a big blur of flame now. Some of the attacks that didn't have explosions now do. He can chain explosions in a row. He just becomes a major pain in the arse.
Yeah, it's like the most aggressive boss becomes even more aggressive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know if I call him the most aggressive boss. I think I can name one that's either tied or slightly more aggressive, depending on
I mean,
if you help him out.
I'd say he's the most aggressive, like, because of a couple of factors that I don't really want to give away about the other bosses.
Okay.
And with one exception, because I think the plot kind of dictates that that one is the most aggressive.
I suppose. Fuck. I didn't actually realize my weapon was no longer enchanted at that point when I tried to stab him, so I was like, oh shit, Jesus.
That was pretty bad. Especially, it nearly got you killed as well. In
I
fact,
know.
how you're still alive, I do not know.
Fortune favors the bold.
You know, normally I would say you're in a bad way when you have to use that line.
The Ring of Flame Resistance, its uses cannot be understated for this fight.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if the buffed explosions aren't doing me too much harm.
Come on, you're like one hit away.
I know. You don't know how hard I was clenching the controller at this point.
There'll be like little cracks in it now and everything.
It's alright. I got this. That was intentional.
If you messed it up now, I'd be really annoyed.
Take damage to save time. It's the pros way. Bang.
You nearly messed that up.
I know.
But that was good. That was a very good Flume Lurker fight. Well done.
So here's something funny. The demon was destroyed thing. If you open your emoticon menu, it actually kind of fucks it up for a while. It will actually like overwrite your X press, and then you'll just stick and not open for a wee bit.
Look at you finding more breakages in the game.
It was a wee bit weird, and now you'll see I picked the wrong one, and also I'm just gonna chant for a bit.
You were very happy.
This was the first time I ever beat the boss like that.
Yeah, that is very impressive. Well done. I imagine that message probably says safe space.
Something like that. I didn't check. You give that soul to Blacksmith Ed, and he will be able to make boss weapons. Which are only in a few instances the actual weapons of the bosses.
Yeah.
Most of the other time they're just either made out of the boss or just whatever. I'm looking for. I could have sworn there was like more items around, but I'm wrong.
Fair enough. A lot of the boss weapons are very, very good. Although I must admit I haven't used up most of them.
My favorite one is the Blue Blood Sword, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, it does look very good. I've never used it myself.
It's a fitting screen because we might be seeing this man soon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was World 2-2.
That was a pretty good 2-2 run, I must admit. Well done.
It could have gone a lot better.
It could, but I mean, we knew there was going to be some problems when we started this.
Speaking of problems, next video.
The next video will be interesting. So now we're passing over to me. And I'm going to do the final stage of World 2.
Will be.
Which I think this is the first time. I'm going to spoil this because I'm proud of this. I'm going to use the Grit Club, by the way. That's what I picked up from that bridge. That if you don't sprint, you can't get it. It's very useful for this. This is the first time I've ever done this stage without dying.
Is it?
Yep, I almost always die due to like silly mistakes on this stage. It's the first time I've ever done it.
Okay.
First try with no deaths. So I was quite happy with it, especially as it got a little touch and go at the end.
What was I gonna say? I want to say something I forgot. It was a weapon I saw you were holding. I noticed you have. We'll have to explain that in
Yeah,
the 2-2 exploration.
yeah,
video.
that'll come up in 2-2 exploration.
Or next, whatever one we upload next, whatever.
So this guy might look a little familiar. Let's hope I fare against him better than you did.
Avenge me.
Alright, I'll do my best. I'll take him down.
I love this fucking King Deck Walker down here.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta add some tension in.
I was almost expecting that fist to break straight through and slam you.
I would have laughed so hard had I done that. Wouldn't even have been mad. Couldn't have been mad. It would have been too good.
I will note at this point, dying in soul form doesn't turn down world tendency.
Yeah, that's why I keep killing myself after beating bosses. It's because
entirely fair,
I
and
don't want to wreck world tendency.
I should probably do that, but I don't really care. Oh, hey.
Yeah, one hit takes them down. It's very useful.
Oh, and you just
So,
barely got
yeah,
through there.
the gimmick of this boss is we have to make it through these areas, clearing the blockages, which with the Grit Club takes one hit, which is lovely. With a lot of other weapons, it can take 2 to 3. With spells, it takes 5 spells. Really.
It depends on your spell. It takes like
and if he
5 or
sees
6.
you, like he did there, he grabs the ledge and punches it, killing you pretty much instantly. I just about escaped a grab there. So the idea is essentially you have to sneak around his boss area without him seeing you, which is quite tricky.
And activate these
and
cannons,
activate these giant harpoon guns, more or less.
which will pin him down.
He looks pretty pissed.
His wings are pretty tattered, actually. I noticed.
They are, yeah. There's something like there's some reason why he can't fly out other than being trapped, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I don't think
wings
his
are shot.
wings are able to fly anymore.
He's starting to cling to this wall pretty handily. This fight is actually very interesting. There's no other fight like it in the series.
Nope, one of a kind, really.
Yeah, it's
It
basically
does-
just one big game of like red light, green light.
Yeah, pretty much. It can be quite tricky, I think, due to like the shape of his head and his eyes and stuff,
It
to
is
tell
hard to tell
when
yeah.
when the hell he might see and when the hell he might not.
Whenever you shot him once, he starts wincing in pain for ages every rotation, which
Yeah.
gives you tons of time to move.
I could have
see.
ran forward then, but I wanted to show him wincing in pain.
The main trick is that despite the fact that the eyes are on the side of his head, if he's looking to the side and you run, his eyes won't see you. He only sees directly ahead of him.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, as far as
Right.
if I remember right. Anyway.
Well, that's good to know because I never knew that in the past.
So like if he's like looking to the side in that first stage, the one before you shoot him the first time,
Yeah.
you can actually run along even though his eyes are technically pointing at you. He can't see you.
Right, that explains it. Because I always thought the window for running was really small, but if that's the real window, then that makes sense.
No, yeah, like it's only basically where his nose is pointing, more or less.
Fair enough. You can see him playing this very carefully. I didn't want to die,
Entirely fair.
especially after the close call I had on the top level.
Yeah, the usual method, well, at least the usual method I do is with the soul arrow spell,
Yeah.
which you see he has
That's
equipped.
that's what I usually do. But I
Yeah, it
thought
takes,
since I had the grit club, I would give it a go. I thought, given the kind of weapon it was, it would probably break them in one.
That's entirely fair. I'm like, I know that with like two-handed R1s of the longsword, you can actually break these. 2 or 3 anyway. I have to say, it does look funny, like this when you're holding it like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to nail that.
It's pretty much, it's like, I mean, they can call it a grit club all they want. It is essentially a stick of wood with some nails in it.
Yeah, basically.
Not gonna let the crystal lizard get away from me.
This is just vicious.
Yeah. It's always bad when you're chasing a lizard and you run out of stamina and you have to stand there and wait.
Yeah.
Let you activate the second harpoon now. And we've got him pinned.
Good, good. But yeah, he's not quite dead yet.
No, we've got to finish this last bit off, mano a mano. To be honest, I must admit, most times I do this, I usually take him out at this point using either more soul arrows, but they do very poor damage, as we'll see
Or
in a minute,
actual arrows.
because I try it.
Oh, you're right.
35, nothing. So I usually use normal arrows. Sadly, as we'll see here, I didn't equip any, so I went to equip them, and I realised that I forgot to
Still
bring
haven't
any.
bought any.
So I have to do it with the club. And the reason why I usually use arrows, and the reason why I'm so kind of, I'd say careful, but I get hit an awful lot. When doing this, is there's a bit of a glitch with Dragon God.
I don't know if it's a glitch so much as it
Well, it's something bad that's not meant to happen. So, yeah, see there, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. The attacks kind of passed, and they still get hit. Happens. An
No, I
awful
think
lot.
like as long as you still see the effect, you can take damage.
But yeah, there's a thing with Dragon God, where if you die right as you kill him,
Yeah.
you will come back to life, and you'll get his soul, and everything will proceed as normal, but you won't be able to finish the game.
Holy shit!
You'll
I
get
didn't know that.
you'll get right to the end, and then you won't be able to go to the final area. And there's nothing you can do to fix it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
really bad. So that's why I was kind of being so careful. I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm dying."
There's
when
also
I
the fact
kill him.
that the fact this is like his labored breathing. It still does a stupid amount of damage.
Oh yeah, like it's over half my health when I get hit by it once.
Mm.
It's bad.
Yeah, I think as long as the effect is on screen, you take damage.
Yeah,
And
and that's Dragon God, and that's World 2 finished. We now have an Archdemon soul.
Mm. It's kind of curious. Really isn't a boss like him in the rest of the series.
No, it's pretty unique.
And there we go.
The thick, colourless fog shall oppress us no more, Gavin.
Mm.
Well, that's it for this video, really. There's a little tease at the end for what will be coming up in the next video, but we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Alright. I'm gonna stick around for this tease though.
You're welcome to.
Da-na-na-na.